Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer. And a beautiful, beautiful day it is. What day is it? It is Thursday. We're almost at the end of the week, ladies and gentlemen. As a matter of fact, I want to say a very pleasant, happy holidays. Good morning to you, because we're on the countdown to Christmas. What about that? Christmas in Florida. Sunshine feeling pretty good today, so hopefully you're feeling just as well. Well, we've got to do what we do every single day, and that is to invite you in to be a part of the most informative, the most inspirational, the most open show there is on the Gulf Coast. So if there's something you need to know, make sure you tell your friends, and you certainly tune in right here daily at 9 o'clock on Blab TV. Well, listen, today is not going to be any different. I have found this young man. He is absolutely phenomenal. When I say I love to see our young people take hold and just go ahead and do what they got to do, this is what Rashawn has done. And what I'm talking about, a powerful, when you see him, but when you talk to him, you're going to understand why I say powerful. Good morning, Rashawn.
Good morning, Sunshine. How are you?
I am doing well. And listen, thank you for getting up early coming in, because when I was reading about you, I was so amazed. And I love to see the fact what you've done. You have taken everything that's been given to you, and you're doing what God say do. Yes. Use it to your benefit.
Yes, listen, ain't no other way to do it.
Let's find out more about Rashawn Speaks. I want to know about Rashawn himself. Tell me a little bit about you.
Most definitely. So, of course, born and raised in Alabama, which was,
hey.
Come on, sweet home Alabama.
There you go.
And I've been afforded an amazing, challenging journey, but really, really rewarding. I've been able to travel all around the world and speak and empower people, whether it was through spirituality or corporate America. And my pivot has been that a cousin died in my life. And when they died, I took the leaping pad in finance. And I've been able to trailblaze in the financial industry and make a lot of impact through nonprofits as well as through corporate America. And I am known as Mr. CEO, connecting and empowering people to overcome.
Come on, Mr. CEO.
Yes,
okay,
indeed.
now how old are you, 19?
I wish. I actually turned 30 years old this year. And as you've just done, people do the same thing.
30?
Listen, don't crack at all.
You said it.
You don't, listen. And I'm
you sure hear that?
Yes, indeed. Yes,
indeed. But you have taken this on corporate America and spiritually.
Yes.
Tell me about your spiritual path, because I believe when you have that connection with that, I believe that anybody, you hear me say this all the time, when you learn to tap into that most powerful entity that is the Lord and Savior through His Spirit,
yes,
you've got everything right there in front of you.
Most definitely. And for me, it's been all my life. I've been preaching since I was 7 years old. And I have been declaring the word of the Lord. And I'll be honest, I tell people all the time, I contribute my industry success to my ministry success. My submission to God, I think, was the entry point to industry success.
Right.
And it makes so much sense why David was so thankful that he gave his life to God at a youthful age.
Exactly.
Because he understood his kingmanship was contributed to what he did as a little boy. And so I would never forget my yes to God. It's my yes to God that has got me to where I am.
Oh, I love that. You put chills over there and say, my yes to God. And I'm in agreement with you right there 100%, because I have my yes to God. Nothing can take that away.
Yes.
And I believe that when you say that, when you lost somebody in your family, and then that, look how he used all of that. But when you go back to David with Goliath, come on now.
Yeah.
He was just a kid. They said, what kid gonna do? How can he take down this giant?
Exactly. And I think that's so powerful because I also understand the suppression of being young. That many times people believe that wisdom comes with age.
Come on.
Wisdom comes with your seek. And
say that again.
Wisdom doesn't come with age, it comes with your seek. And I used to say a quote all the time, that age is a number, maturity is a mindset. And so there are people who are more mature that are younger than people who have aged. And it's seen every day in our society by the decisions you make. The manifestation of your maturity is in your decisions.
That is powerful. The manifestation of maturity
is in your decisions.
It's in your decisions. Oh my God, I love that.
Yes.
That's going to resonate with me, because I'm going to be using that, so don't say anything. Okay?
No. I'll give you some credit for that. That's you. That's ours.
That's ours. Okay, I'm going to give you credit. But I love to see, and you know what really makes me smile, Rashawn? And I love to see when young people really know who and where their power and everything they get where it comes from.
Yes.
That at a young age, because if you've been doing this like this, and you just turned 30, so therefore you had that connection a long time ago.
Yes.
And I hear people say that, well, I got to do that. I'm going to live my life. Maybe I'll do that later. You don't know what tomorrow's going to hold.
There we go.
I mean, nobody knows what tomorrow's going to hold.
Yes.
But the fact of it is, and I mean, the people that the young lady I was talking to on the phone, she was so about you. She said, wait till you see him. Wait till you meet him. Wow. You think what you read have really had your eyes going, but wait till you meet him, right?
Yes.
And I'm seeing exactly what she's saying, because once you tap into that power, people think, I think that because you're not supposed to be have a relationship with Christ until you're older. Wrong answer.
Yes.
Wrong answer.
Yes.
I mean, the more you develop that relationship, I always give this, Rashawn. My earthly mother and father, I had a relationship with them.
Yes.
Since then.
Yeah.
So why can't I have that relationship with my heavenly father since then?
There we go. That's good.
Okay. Come on now.
That's good. Come on. Yeah. That's good.
We're going to write a book. Another book. But the fact of it is with you, and I see that you are really, I can see it in your eyes that you're really sold out to him, because that's where it is. And then with that, do you still live in Alabama, or do you just go around? I mean.
Yeah, so I actually recently just moved back to Alabama maybe a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
Yes, I moved back to Alabama and relaunched my church in Alabama.
So you have a church?
Yes, I have 2 locations. I have a church in Alabama and a church in Mississippi. And I've been pastoring 8 years at this point.
What?
And I've been preaching 23 years.
Oh my God, he was a baby. But look, out of the babes, out of the mouth of babes.
Perfect praise.
Come on now.
That's it. Come on.
God, and you got 2 churches in Alabama.
One in Alabama,
one in Mississippi.
Yes.
What's the name of your church?
It's called the Movement Hub.
Okay, I saw that.
Yes, the Movement Hub.
The Movement Hub.
Yes.
So look, people, y'all, if you're out and about, you don't have anywhere to go somewhere that you can learn something. Yes. And I mean, teaching the truth. Yes. Teaching what it is to walk with him on a daily basis. Yes. That makes my heart just go boom, 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 boom. I love it so. Now, when you do that, I saw so many things here I want to know. Your first question was, who am I?
Yes.
Talk about that. I thought, well, I've read it. I want everybody to know. Who am I? Why did you write that like that?
Yeah, I think that many people in today's society, especially young people, we're inspired, but we yet are not identified.
Go ahead.
And I think that has become the problem. And when you're inspired but not identified, you duplicate, you don't originate. And so many times we find the person that inspires us and we try to recreate them through us. But inspiration was never to duplicate. It was to awaken the origination of you.
Absolutely.
And I think for me, I know what it is to be in environments where people say, this is what you're supposed to be because your daddy was this. This is what you're supposed to be because in your bloodline, this is what everybody was.
Right.
But I woke up one day and I was like, but who am I? That's what they were, but who am I?
Absolutely.
And I started creating my own story.
Right. Was your daddy in the ministry?
My daddy was not in the ministry.
Oh, okay.
My mom is not in the ministry.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, I just ordained my mom.
Really?
Yes.
Hi, Mom.
And so I tell people all the time, because the most powerful thing is sometimes there's no tracing for what you're called to be. There's no track record for what you're called to be. So what happens when there's no template, but you still have to become it?
I like that.
And that's when you become a trailblazer.
Okay, trailblazer.
Now, Sonshine, I have to say this because a lot of my generation, we enjoy talking about like, oh, so-and-so copied me. They copied my idea. But I fell in love with being a trailblazer, and I also fell in love with being copied.
I get that.
Because trailblazers and pioneers are meant to be copied.
Exactly.
You created the template for somebody else. And so I encourage people, if you're not ready to be copied, don't start. If you're not ready for someone to take the model and the template of what you're building, don't start. Because someone's looking for your steps to determine where their ladder is.
Now I got to confess something, because I hear this, because I was thinking something that I had said to my girlfriend. I said, "That good is trying to copy what I'm doing." And I said that was only a couple of days ago.
Yes, you're a trailblazer.
So, just a couple of days ago, I said, "Oh my God." You see what I'm saying? All you have to do is sit and listen. You can answer to a lot of things because out of the mouth of babes. And that's a great thing.
Yes.
But the fact of it is now, when you and I'm not just going to talk about the ministry. We're going to go into the corporate world as well, because I see here where it says, "Ready to inspire your audience and let's connect."
Yes.
Tim, you already inspiring us, so we're connecting already.
Yes.
I mean, but it's such an inspiration to see young people do that because of the fact that what's needed in the world today. I'm just going to be real.
Definitely.
It's needed so badly, and to see young people such as yourself to take that torch to move on to be that next generation that's going to be our tomorrow.
Yes.
Because I'm going to be 150 before I leave, maybe 200. But
Come on.
but somebody got to take the torch on.
Yes.
And what you're doing, do you have people that come to you, like the younger people who say, "Man, why are you doing this?" With that attitude like that in these times.
Initially,
Okay.
when I first really yielded in high school, I had people who prepared for me to fall. They told me,
Really?
"You won't last a year with your relationship with God, or this ain't gonna work." But what happened is it wasn't a decision I made because I was forced.
It's because that's what. Okay, I hear you. You
wanted
wanted
it.
this.
And when you want something,
Uh-huh.
external forces can't stop internal decisions.
Absolutely. He's full of it, man.
Because you want it,
Right.
and let's be honest, we're in a culture where sometimes the parents want it more for the children than they want it for themselves.
You're right.
And so I think what happened with me is I started inspiring internal decisions.
Okay.
And people would look at me and be like, "Man, Faust is really making it. It's
Uh-huh.
really happening for him." And I'll say this on your show because I think this is pivotal, because this is a large part of my testimony, is I have a part of my testimony where I talk about molestation to millions.
Okay.
Because molestation manifested me.
Oh my God, what a testimony.
It's a part of my life that unveiled as I began to learn Christ, because I became more vulnerable about it. And I have a huge, huge passion for people who have been assaulted and abused in any way, because sometimes it's what abuses you that awakens you.
Oh my God, what a testimony.
And so when you're touched wrong, you know how to be touched right.
Oh my God.
And so I really, that trailblazed me, because I was amongst, and here's the truth, I was amongst a community that they couldn't discern why I was off. So they couldn't really give me what I needed. And it was
Right.
when I really connected to God that he was like, "This is who you are, absent from all of this."
Oh wow. So are you telling me that you were out when the molestation, let's say that nobody could really see,
Nobody.
pick up on what was happening to you?
Nobody, because it's so crafty, because the first year I preached at 7 years old, 3 days before I preached was when I was molested.
Oh my God.
So how does victory and defeat happen all at the same time? How do you manage doom and destiny all at the same time?
Such a baby.
Such a baby. And here's the thing, many times it's hard for people to identify that identity, because it was robbed by something before they knew what identity was. And it's not always sexual assault. It's so many other things that rob children when they're vulnerable.
Exactly.
And I think that's one of the things that I've helped so many young people with, because the truth is, statistically, that people don't talk about their sexual assault and things of that caliber until they're 50 and 60 years old and the person is dead that did it to them already. So if you're not talking about it until you're 50 and 60, that means you don't start living until to that moment. And people don't understand. I used to teach family dynamics in high school.
Uh-huh.
And I drew a picture on the board. And I drew the bigger picture of a woman who was 30 years old. And then I drew her pain, which was 8 years old. And I asked my students, Sonshine, I said, "How old is this woman?" They said, 30 years old. I said, "No, she's not. She's 8.
She's 8 years old.
You're the age of your pain. You're the age of what you haven't healed from." And I learned that. So when I learned God, I took a 6-year journey away from my family.
Really?
Because I understood I can't heal where the pain exists. I got to heal to go back to be a healer.
Oh my God.
And so people would say, "Well, you never around your family. Do you got parents? Do you got anybody?" I literally moved to a whole nother state. I restarted. I paid my own way through school. I didn't even know nothing about a FAFSA. I worked at McDonald's to get that done. My
Absolutely.
first degree. Because I understood that I have purpose and I won't let pain rob me.
That is beautiful. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you hear his testimony, what he shared with you today? My God. And you know, let me say this, and I got to say to you, that's powerful within himself, that he's sharing this on TV that can be seen. And with the power that you have for what you have gone through, this is another question I wanted. Maybe it felt in my heart as you were speaking. Perhaps with some of these younger people who are lashing out, or the things that we see them are having such difficulties with, perhaps maybe they have been dealing with, it does not have to be sexual, but dealing with things that they have not dealt with. And they are at 18 here, but they're yet 8 here because of what they're going. Do you make? I'm thinking outside the box because of the thing that are going on in the world. As I said, why would a child continue to do this? Do you think that things perhaps like that may be affecting young people, that they don't know how to share with anybody? They don't have that gift that you have, that you can talk about this so you can move on to be that, what did you call it? To be the, you give me another cliche when you found a gifter to the gifter.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
Have you run into people like that?
Oh, most definitely. I think, I'll be honest, here's the bigger problem, is if I have a 12-year-old child who's dealing with a 6-year-old pain, but then I have a 30-year-old mother of that child who's only 13.
This is the same family.
Same family. What happens when pain raises pain? That's the dilemma that our culture is dealing with. Even as I was in education for 5 years, that's what I see. I tell teachers all the time in professional development, you're not teaching the child that's in the chair. You're teaching the child in them that's in pain. I would give my children 10 to 15 minutes to talk about whatever they want before we started class. Say whatever you want. Let's get it out.
Absolutely.
Because if we do not afford them the opportunity to communicate who's really in the desk,
right,
who are you teaching?
Come on, somebody. We are talking with Rashawn, and we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to continue with this conversation, because I have said that, even said it silently. I believe there's something deeper. I think because of so many things, I see some of the youth, the things that they're doing, I believe it's something deeper. We're going to talk more about that. And I'd like you to be a part of this conversation as well. 850-432-7768. You can call or text right here, Sunshine's Corner on Black TV.
Good day, Pensacola. Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sunshine's Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month during Sunshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason, and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
Empire Truck Sales, located at 2255 West Detroit Boulevard in Pensacola, is your Freightliner, Western Star, Detroit Diesel, and Cummins dealer for Northwest Florida. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., providing sales, service, and parts. Empire Truck Sales is also your Oasis dealer for Freightliner custom chassis RV and motorhome repairs. Running I-10 will get you in.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
At Pensacola Habitat for Humanity, we believe every child should have a safe place to grow. That's why we work with you and the community to build not just a house, but a home.
She worked very hard to get this house. I really appreciate that because, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here right now.
When you help build a home, you build a future. Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
And welcome back to this edition of Sunshine's Corner on this Thursday. And we are on the countdown for the holidays. But you know what? I think today is a holiday because of the fact that we're getting so much powerful information, so much positivity to share with those who possibly, I think, with Rashawn. This is going to inspire somebody who's dealing with dilemma and don't know what to do because quietness won't get it.
Yes.
And I commend you for doing what you do to make sure that happens to somebody else. Don't let that hold you back. He said something that I thought that was powerful. He said that here it is, you can hold back this pain so long. 50 years old, that person is dead who did it to you. Now you got to still deal with the fact that you said dealing with the what? Why did you call it?
Grieving the tomb.
Grieving the tomb. See what I'm saying? He got this. I mean, I need to start writing. But that's a good thing. And with the fact that when you find out, do you direct them to help? Or what is that you do to try to get them over that, what they're dealing with?
Well, I think here's the thing. There's a lack of comfortability and confidentiality.
Okay.
People don't talk about it because they're not confident that people are going to be confidential. And so I typically start with conversation. It's something I call the open confession.
Okay.
They need a room to confess. And here's the statistically, they need the room to confess without you telling them it didn't happen. Most people don't confess it because their families, their parents, their cousins, their aunties keep telling them they're lying.
Really?
That didn't really happen to you. He wouldn't have never did that. She would have never touched you like that. Because what happens is, what happens when people are more in love with the suspect than the victim? They're willing to protect the suspect more than they are the victim. You'll be surprised how many parents will look at their child and say, he didn't do that, just because it's her boyfriend or his girlfriend, and they're more in love with the person who did it to them than the person it was done to. How many court cases go undone? People never get verdicts because people told them it didn't happen.
Really?
So the first thing is you got to believe what they say.
Okay.
And when you believe what they say,
Did that happen to you? Did anybody believe you at first?
Initially, no.
Really?
Initially, no. Because, of course, of the broadness, especially in our community.
You saying something right there.
It's so broad. And we were told what happens in the family stays in the family.
We just talked about this on the show yesterday with my guest, and we said we were raised that way. What happens in this house stays in this house.
Yes.
And so that we're still dealing with that because that's been planted inside of us, and it's there.
Yes.
Even when there's trouble.
Yes. Yep.
You don't want to say anything. Oh my God.
And then here's another thing. You have silent threats in your head that you have to deal with. If I tell my mom, what does he do to our family? What would happen to us? Because you better believe that 90% of the people that abuse people have already given their threats. So I'm not just fighting with it happened to me. I'm fighting with there's people that are probably in jeopardy that don't know they're in jeopardy if I confess.
Really?
And so all of these things are in their mind. And so, which is one of the reasons I talked about this in my new book called What the Fear is Going On.
I saw that.
Because fear needs an ear. And if fear has an ear, fear has a heart.
Oh my God.
So
Rashawn.
once it starts talking to you, you start living according to its guidelines.
How did you get over that? I mean, after you were molested, how did you get to the point to where you are today? I mean, what was the process?
Yes. So my first time confessing was a couple nights after I confessed that I received Holy Spirit.
Okay.
I was convicted, and the Lord said, you should tell your mom.
Okay.
And I'll never forget, I told her. But here's the problem, and there's nothing against my mom. I absolutely love her. We have an amazing relationship.
Absolutely.
But I told her, but she couldn't heal me. Because what happens when the helper can't heal?
Right.
And so I started going through my own process. I seeked out counseling at my local high school. This is stuff I started doing on my own because I understood that nobody was healed enough to guide me.
Oh, beautiful.
And that's a truth we've got to come to, is sometimes children, your parents are not healed enough to give you directions. Parents, sometimes your grandparents are not healed enough. Because if we've kept it all in the family, how much is in the family that we've kept?
Okay, do you think, and I'm just asking a question,
Sure.
Do you think perhaps maybe this has happened because if your mom couldn't deal with it, maybe it happened to somebody, even her?
There we
before,
go. There we go.
And on down the line?
There we go.
So therefore, here's that same old cliche that we said, keep it in the house, it doesn't go anywhere.
That's it.
Oh
There are
my God.
generations that have yet to speak.
Oh my goodness.
And I tell people that every generation, every bloodline has generational blessings. But also every bloodline has generational chains.
Yes.
But here's the power of chains. is you can take the dog off the leash, but because it's so accustomed to the leash, it believes freedom is a leash.
So you're still right where you're
stay
right there in the same
I'm
place.
still going to stay here because I'm so used to being bound.
Oh my God.
And that's why I had to divorce my family in order to become something, to come back and save my family. And now I came back and launched the church, and I never wanted a family church. That was never my dream.
Of course.
Because I'm like, I know what it was to be raised with a family. I don't want no family church. But I came back and relaunched my church, and a large part of my family is there, and it's been beautiful.
Absolutely.
Giving their life to God, changing their life. Now they're walking in purpose. And I just adore, you'll be surprised how many people reach out to me when I talk about my testimony online, and like I'm dealing with the same thing, but I wouldn't dare tell nobody. I wouldn't dare say anything. Single people, married people, influential people.
Really?
But they don't understand silence doesn't make you just silence your testimony, but you silence in other areas you're required to be vulnerable. And I talk about that in my book. Molestation manifested in corporate America. There were certain opportunities I would not take because it required vulnerability.
Really?
I would turn them down. And I'm about to be extremely transparent with this. I was not able, you know when you go in the men's bathroom and you stand up stalls, I just started using those stalls maybe 3 to 4 years ago because I had to heal to be vulnerable again. That was too much space and room to be vulnerable.
Really?
And so people sometimes think, oh, because I don't talk about it, it disappears. It doesn't disappear. It's dormant, and it shows up at the peak of your career, or at the peak of your relationships, or at the peak of, here's the enemy is really tricky. He doesn't show up until he can shine.
Amen. I just love it. I love your cliches. I mean, doesn't show up until he can shine. But the fact of it is, ladies and gentlemen, do you hear what we're talking about today? Because, but to paint you a bigger picture, now we're going to also show you just what, even though those things happened to him, but the power that he tapped into. We're talking about that relationship that you have with our Father, God, that gotten you where you are today, but yet now you are being used to help others who are dealing with the same thing, the pressures that they have of being quiet and not even do it to heal, put it that way, to heal. And I say that to say, let's stop being ashamed of the things that happen because you're never going to heal. Let's stop being, oh, I can't tell nobody that happened to me. I don't want anybody to know that happened to me. No. If you don't, you never will move forward. And do you see what, I love the fact that even though he went through one traumatic part in his life, but look at him today. God said that he'll heal you. And I believe that.
That's it.
I believe everything he says. For you to be walking in your purpose today, to have gone through what you have gone through. And I think sometimes, I said I, personal pronoun, I think that God allows us to see things so that we can help somebody else.
Yes, that's true.
I really believe that.
And
with that, I want to say with you, I mean, keep doing, because he's with your testimony, you're going to help so many out there that needs it. And the fact that you said, the fact that how we are so quiet to say, no, we can't talk about this. When did you come to that realization that I gotta let this out of me? I cannot hold this on the inside because otherwise it'll kill you on the inside. At the pressure will bust a pipe, as my girlfriend would say.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
But the fact that you came to that realization that you had to.
Yeah, I actually was invited. I was over FCA, Fellow Christian Athletes at my high school. And they had invited me to a church, and they were like, hey, we want you to share. And I would never forget, I was praying like, Lord, what would you like for me to share? I said, you're going to tell your testimony.
You said, oh, in here?
Right. I'm like, first of all, you could have gave me a little extra warning. Let me practice before I tell the public.
Right.
And that night I shared it. And the response people told me was, some were very thankful, but some people thought I was lying because I looked so much not like it.
Really?
And that's the beauty of what you were just talking about, your relationship with God. He can make you look so much not like it.
Oh, come on.
That it looks like a lie. Because you don't look like the residue.
Come on now.
You don't look like that. You don't smell like that. And that's kind of what it was.
Because he got rid of the residue.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Come on, Jonathan Nelson.
Come.
I love that song, Residue.
Yes.
He said, I came anew. I don't have any, all that old residue is gone.
Gone.
I love it.
And that's when I opened up. And I told my family, I was like, hey, I'm going to be telling it. You know, I don't, you know, if y'all not healed, you may not can handle it every time. But that's a responsibility you have to take on yourself. But I'm going to tell my story.
Right.
Because people need to hear it. And if I don't say it, the curse isn't broken. The curse isn't broken because I healed.
I hear you.
It's broken because I was willing to confess.
Exactly.
And now others overcome by the word of my testimony.
Exactly.
And so I understand there's a generation that's waiting on me, young, old, middle age. And if I don't say what I need to say or what I've been called to say, and let me be honest, when we start talking about making money, I believe the most profitable thing in your life is your story.
Absolutely.
And I tell people all the time, Jesus is gone, ascended, sitting by the Father.
Amen.
And he's still making money off his story.
I hear you.
We buy Bibles every day.
Yes, Lord.
Because his story. So pain has a profitability to it. But if you suppress it, that could be your stream of income you're suppressing.
Exactly.
So,
because he made a promise. He said, I will supply you every need.
Come on.
I mean, all you got to do is believe.
That's it.
Ask it, it shall be given.
That's it.
But don't ask it and then turn around and curse it with your mouth.
Ooh. That's good. Come on.
Yes. No, I tell you what my heart is. Because I know for a fact myself, I mean, the things that I've had to go through.
Yeah.
But to be the strength is, the things I've gone through, the things I've had to walk with my head up.
Yeah.
I mean, it may not be molestation, but there are so many other things that I've had to deal with. And still I walk with that smile because I'm walking through. Because if he was not there with me,
come on,
I wouldn't have made it.
Yes.
That is how I know that God is right there for you.
Yeah.
Only if you let him in.
Yes.
You know?
On. That's true.
Only if you let him in. You cannot, he's not going to knock you down to take it.
Yes.
He said, I'm freely yours.
Yes.
Ask me and I'll come.
Come on.
But he's not going to beg you to do it.
Come on.
He'll give you that. He believes that you'll choose him.
Yes.
But with that fact that you're doing that, and then you went into corporate America.
Yes.
And all of this, how did that catapult to where you are now? I mean, with your testimony and then with the new book you got, where Rashawn speaks and all of this that you're doing. And I know that you already tell you it's accounted to what you went through with God.
Yes.
And the fact that, let me say this, I keep hearing this right now. Look, somebody is watching us today that you don't know what you need to do. Yeah. Help is on the way. It's right there for you. Don't be afraid to tell your story to get the help that you need to overcome.
Come on.
You know? So I'm saying this to you. If you would like to talk to him off camera, whatever, we're going to give you a number you can call. He can direct you in an area. But if you want to call him today, nobody will know your name, 850-432-7768, to give him, to ask him questions. This is how, I think, like you were saying, sometimes when we're so quiet, we are so, no, in this house is where it stays. Yes. Don't you open your mouth, you better not say anything, because I remember Grandmama would look at you with those eyes.
Yeah, come on.
And you knew what those eyes meant, shut your mouth.
Yep.
But the fact of it is, Rashawn, I am so proud of what you're doing, and you're able to walk on your truth, is what I'm saying. Good morning. Hello.
Hey, how are you, ma'am?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
This is Carrie again.
Hey, Carrie.
The man that's handicapped.
Yes, hey, Carrie.
I want to tell the man this right here that you're talking to today.
Uh-huh.
That through my faults and through my failures, Jesus still saves people. Yes, and he saved me through that. No matter what I've done, if I ask forgiveness, he saved me.
Yes, he did.
And we have to love. That man that's on your program today, he loves people.
Yes.
And I'm watching you, and I'm watching him, and I think he's a wonderful guy to listen to. So thank you, and be blessed today.
Thank you, Carrie. Have a great day.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye. Everybody, I tell you, that just causes my heart to go pitter-patter. Yes. I mean, but the fact of it is, you see people that you're there, he said a mouthful. We're going to talk more with Rashawn when we get back, because, I mean, this time is going too fast. I can sit there and talk to you all day. 850-432-7768. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation right here. Sunshine's Corner on Blab TV.
You finally found the perfect car in Racing Blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if auto owners make sense for you.
Keep going. More. No, stop!
I'm Emily Echeverria, Marketing Communications Director for Council on Aging of West Florida and the host of Coming of Age. Watch our show to find out what we're doing for our seniors and their families, and hear from area experts and local business owners about their programs and services. Want to help? Find out how you can work with us to bring a better future to our seniors. Watch Coming of Age, 3:30 p.m. Wednesdays, only on Blab TV.
This is Wayne at Icon Automotive in Robertsdale, Alabama, and I wanted to tell you more about our powertrain warranty forever. It comes with any vehicle we sell that has 80,000 miles or less at no additional cost to you. We put our vehicles through a tough safety and mechanical inspection before it can have the powertrain warranty forever, giving you a peace of mind with your purchase. This warranty is good anywhere in the country, and it covers 100% of parts and labor with no mileage limit, and is covered as long as you own the vehicle. Come pick out your dealership car at non-dealership pricing with a powertrain warranty forever at Icon Automotive.
Watch a new episode of Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m. Your tips may be eligible for a cash reward, featuring items about officer training, various aspects of police work, and crime prevention information. You'll hear about upcoming family-friendly engagement events as well. Don't miss Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m.
And welcome back to this Thursday edition of Sunshine's Corner. And we're talking with a young man today who is sharing his life testimony to show you just how it is to move from where he was to into the corporate world. And now as a leader, because of the fact that you care so much about people, that you're willing to do what you do. No, God had that said. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel.
Yes.
But look, I see right here where you says leadership in life transitions. Talk about that.
Yeah, leadership is a powerful tool. You're either going to lead people to die or lead them to live.
Right.
And I like to use David as a pivotal conversation for leadership. If you're going to be a leader, the first test of leadership is rejection. If you pass rejection, you become closer prepared to lead. Because most leaders, their assignment isn't accepted about everybody that they're called to lead. Mm-hmm. Noah, his assignment of leadership, nobody wanted to hear him.
Right.
And so many times when you start talking about leadership, there was 3 tiers of leadership, and I won't go fully in depth into this, but there's 3 tiers of leadership that David encountered: household leadership, shepherding leadership, and then kingdom leadership. But as a leader, you're determined how you lead by how you fight.
Right.
He had so many battles, household battles, then battles out there in the field.
Oh God, did he?
Now, I pulled out something quite interesting, Sonshine. Now, David fought out there in the field. He fought a bear, and then he fought a lion. Now, I'm gonna ask you this question.
A bear.
He fought a bear, then he fought a lion. Why do you think no other animal tried to fight him after he beat the lion?
He's scared to go get beat?
Here's what I came to conclusion with. After he killed the king of the jungle, why was there need to try to fight him? Every animal understood if David can kill our king, he can kill all of us. So after he defeated the king of the jungle, nothing else tried to fight him. And when you're talking about leadership and transitions, you must understand the greatest lion you've got to defeat is that internal lion. After you defeat the inner you, there's nothing that can hinder you from leading anybody else.
Oh, that's powerful. I never did equate that with David, because, okay. But, and I tell you, if you have not read your Bible, pick it up. Lord, dust off.
There we go.
I mean, and there's some stories in there. I mean, I love to read about Samson, right?
Yes.
Because Samson was such a love. I mean, it's a love story with Samson, I think.
Yes, most definitely.
I mean, he is it's just so many great stories in the Bible that it will show you how to walk through this life.
Yes.
And the things that will get you through, truly just continually holding on to your Father.
Most definitely.
Got to hold on to him.
That's it.
Financial strategies for a purposeful profitability. He's got all these words, give me mouthful.
Yeah, so the whole part to me getting into finance was at 19, I filed bankruptcy.
Okay.
And it was more so because there was no financial literacy in my bloodline.
Okay.
And so we lived out of struggle, and we decided out of struggle.
Okay.
And I would never forget that demasculated me.
Okay.
And I was like, I gotta make some life decisions because I don't want an unhealthy financial future. And so that's when I started understanding that 90% of my financial decisions looked like trauma. Trauma transactions, that's what I call them when I'm teaching this. Because your credit card, your bank statement, I can literally tell you where you're not healed. If I pulled your bank statement, I could tell you where you're not healed, and I could tell, I can tell what you're using to heal.
Okay.
I tell certain people all the time, 90% of finances is mindset. The rest is actual transactional. It's called money mindset. Money has a mind.
So if I go out and spend all this money, I think I'm gonna feel better. Look, then I got to pay that bill.
Then you gotta pay. You gotta pay the bill, and you still haven't paid your bills.
Exactly, and that pain is still there. That I went and swipe.
Listen, and that's the enemy of a lot of people financially. So I typically like to start with money mindset, and then I take them into actual strategies.
Okay.
Because you can't handle a strategy if you're mentally handling struggle. And so people are like, I need the next strategy. I'm like, no, you need to divorce struggle.
Wow.
Because if you divorce struggle, you then can handle strategy. Strategy is about the future. Struggle is about the past.
Say that again.
Strategy is about the future. Struggle is about the past.
That's powerful.
And so that's crucial.
Exactly. Crucial.
That's crucial. And the manifestation of that is in your profitability. Most business owners bring that personal finance mindset into their business. That's why they don't last. And so when I'm talking to business owners from a CFO perspective, and they're like, oh, these are the money problems I'm having in my business. Did you think that because it's a business entity that it wouldn't have to battle with your personal mindset?
Because you're still dealing with those issues yet.
You're
and
still.
That's not going to cover it. Like I said, it's just covering it for a moment.
There we go.
So in order to do that, you got to be delivered
There we go.
from that's holding you back.
There we go.
Unbelievable. But it's believable.
Yes.
I mean, Rashawn, you're something else. I mean, like, that's why you got to make it make sense.
Yes.
Make it make sense. Now, CENTS, that's money. Make it make sense.
That's it. Yeah, because it's mindset.
That's right.
It's mindset, and when you master your mind, you can master your money.
Right.
And most of my clients, here's the problem. A lot of the behaviors that they got from money started at childhood. So how your family struggled, you do that. You repeat that in your life, even down to allowance. How much did you get for allowance? I didn't get no allowance. There we go. Some people didn't get allowance. So they don't even know how to manage a little bit. They don't even know what to do with it a little bit.
Get out of here.
You know, and so I go all the way back to those things. And here's another thing, just as well as we were talking about sexual assault, there's financial assault.
Really?
Financial assault.
Let's say if it's a person who always want to go out, they want to buy all those expensive tennis shoes, they want to buy all those expensive things, but yet and still, because they know somebody like that.
Yeah. Yep, because the culture have taught us to show up looking like it, but you don't have to be it.
Making somebody that's rich and you don't, trying to impress somebody
go.
that you don't know, spending your money that you don't have.
All right. Yes. Because I'd rather show up and you think I have it than you don't. Most wealthy people that I deal with, they don't wear nice clothes.
You know, I said that because they know how to do it. Now, I say this. I just said this. You may think I'm joking. I be talking deep with some friends of mine. It's one person, I just pour it all out on her. And she goes, oh, okay. But I said that because, you know, I don't have to impress you. I don't feel like I have to impress you because it's my money. It's my money. So if I feel like I want you to think I have it,
yes.
Come on, somebody.
Yeah.
And I think that is something else right there, too. And I hate to see that when I see people, you riding around this great big fancy car, but you don't have a house to live in.
There we go.
You're riding around all these fancy clothes, but you're living in an apartment. You're not buying your house.
Yes.
I mean, things of that nature. I'm just saying, I think that's just me, ladies and gentlemen. I said I.
Yes.
I try to do that to make sure people look, put your money here.
Yes.
Grow it that way. But with the fact of what you've gone through and what you're living, I like this, where you're building resilience as a leader.
Yes.
And that's a powerful statement there. But everything he said today, it all lines up with life. And I still want to roll back to the fact when you said that with the fact of what you had to deal with as a child by being molested and matured into the man that you are today, but what you had to do, the steps to get there, and now you can go back and help somebody else. I'll still say I believe this. I think that's a problem that our youth have today, and I don't understand, because I think it's so freely with those relationships. I said me. They're so free with so many relationships, in and out, in and out.
Yes.
And I don't think that's good.
Yes. Yes.
That's just me. I don't think that's good.
Most definitely. And I think here's a large part is sometimes you have a good experience. And when you lose a good experience, you will keep looking for that experience in other people. Mm-hmm. And so they're trying to discover or recreate an experience. Mm-hmm. And when you're trying to recreate that experience, you're willing to lose yourself to find some other body. And they keep looking and looking and looking.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing that we've
repetition.
got to
understand. I always say this, you keep doing the same thing expecting a different outcome.
Yes.
It's not going to happen.
Yes. Yes. You need a new mindset.
You got to have a new mindset. That's good. So everybody, listen, we're talking with Rashawn, how he calls himself, he says, Rashawn speaks, and he's speaking today. So look, as we speak, we're talking about things that you need to be aware of. 850-432-7768, that's the number. But I tell you, I'm into this conversation. We'll be back with more of Rashawn and all about the books that he's writing, so you can be a part of that right here on Sunshine's Corner.
Welcome to Little John's Big and Tall, where tall men and big men go for style, fit, and comfort. We offer a wide variety of styles and unique brands that service all sizes from large to 14X, as well as tall sizes from large tall to 6X tall. Our knowledgeable staff are here to make sure you have a stress-free experience and answer any of your questions. Little John's has been named Best of Pensacola and Best of the Bay for 4 years in a row. Visit Little John's at 5700 North Davis or visit us online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com.
It's time to find a health plan that can keep up with your life. A plan that makes getting care convenient, with doctors around the corner.
I can get used to that.
Plus, 24/7 access to care. Plans that keep more money in your pocket, with plan payments as low as $0.
$0. Looks good to me.
Let's find your health solution. Speak to a dedicated Florida Blue agent today. Call 1-850-393-7036 to learn more.
Fostering a pet for a friend or neighbor can keep families together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Some attorney ads are really over the top, within-your-face concepts. Not this one, because there's nothing exciting about bankruptcy law. But if you're struggling with credit card debt, medical bills, student loans, repossession, or mortgage payments, you'll want to hear this. Lewis & Jernevoy has helped thousands of people with financial problems for over 20 years. We may be able to help you achieve financial freedom, and that is exciting. Call Lewis & Jernevoy today for a free consultation.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quince Dieter, and I am Blab TV.
And welcome back to Sunshine's Corner on this Friday edition. I tell you, today has been, I always tell you how fast the clock ticks, right? But I'm enjoying the conversation because we're with Rashawn Speaks today, and he has spoken some things that have really, really said something. He shared his testimony with you, which I think is absolutely powerful. But the fact of it is, he did not become, he's not angry. He's telling you and sharing with you what he went through to be the man that he is today and doing what he's got to do. And I think that is absolutely great. Now, you got a new book coming up.
Yes.
And that book is called What the Fear is Going On. I love it. Talk about it.
Yes, I'm super duper excited about this book. I have been writing this book going on a couple years now. I've written books prior to this, but this is probably my best manuscript yet. And I feel like the conversation of fear needed to come up.
Right.
Working in corporate America, working around leaders, consulting and coaching and all of those things, I start seeing that a lot of people's behavior is a manifestation of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of success, fear of being themselves, fear of what they came from. And for me, I'm really big on merging ministry and industry. And so I really give some practical steps. I give some strategies on really how to maneuver around these things. And most importantly, how to get to that heal place. How to get to that heal place and how to get to that whole place. Because here's the thing, every part of your journey has a new fear that you must deal with.
Okay.
Or that becomes fear compound, where now I have to deal with last season's fear. Last season's fear with this season's fear.
Right.
And it continues to grow. And so I think it's important that we start confronting fear because it needs an ear, and when it has an ear, it has a heart.
Ah, wonderful. Now this book is going to come out in 2025.
Yes, it'll come out March 2025, but currently we're taking pre-orders on Amazon, and I'm extremely excited. I just feel and sense that so many people are going to be able to really embrace their futures because I am extremely transparent, probably the most transparent in my writing that I've been, and extremely vulnerable about my journey, all the way from corporate experiences, all the way to personal experiences, even to a new experience that many will see in February that I won't talk about just yet, but I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
But I'm just excited. It's an amazing season in my life, and I think a lot of it has to do with me conquering fears. One of the fears I'll tell you about, though, is I used to have a fear of being a father because I didn't have one.
Okay.
And my first occurrence of meeting my father, to make it short, I didn't meet my father until the person that my mom told me was my father went to jail. So I always thought that was my father. But when I actually met my father, he ran in the woods away from me.
Get out of here.
Oh yeah, he ran away from me. And I'll never forget, we didn't really have the best relationship. I forgave him and everything, but he just never was around. And I went to therapy one day, and my therapist said, Rashawn, tell me about your dad. And I'm like, oh, he ran away. And she said something to me, Sonshine, that was powerful. She said, what if I told you your dad was absent, but you still have fruit as if he was present? She said, the reason you run from everything in your life is because he ran from you.
Oh.
And you manifest it.
Chills are going to through me.
Which then at that moment, I had to confront that fear.
Okay.
And the Lord really dealt with me. He said, you can become something without ever having it. I'll make you a father because you didn't have one. Because here's the truth. Sometimes you learn best by people who did it wrong. What happens when people who did it wrong is your teacher?
Did you ever get any kind of relationship with your father?
Oh yeah, he actually called me a couple of weeks right before I got in the pulpit.
Okay.
And absolutely nothing against him. But here's another thing that we've got to understand. Is unhealed people don't know how to behave.
Okay.
And you have to respect that.
Right.
I love him for when he can reach out and when he wants to reach out. But I don't hold him hostage to what he can't do.
Okay.
I don't expect someone who don't have legs to walk.
Okay.
Someone who don't has arms to reach. And so you have to let people live in the sphere of their expectations of themselves.
Right.
Let them tell you what they want to be.
Right.
And I think that's important because a lot of children, a lot of families, sometimes we want closure.
Mm-hmm.
But if your door was open and bugs were coming in, but the person who left it open was no longer there, would you leave it open? No, you would close it.
Of course.
So sometimes we are our own closure because people won't close the door.
I love that. Did you ever get over the fear of having children? That one day maybe you will?
Oh, I want twins.
You want twins? Oh, he wants more and more. He wants twins.
I want twins. And I think being a pastor has groomed me to really father people.
Okay.
Being a spiritual father to so many people, being a teacher.
Exactly.
And so it's almost like God said, don't worry.
I got you.
Because I have an alternate route for what I called you to be.
Oh, how beautiful. Look, don't come back and tell me what you see those people and they have 3 or 4 or 5 babies. You go say, Sonshine, I got more than 20.
Yes.
But that's a good thing. But I tell you, Rashawn, this has been a fantastic conversation that we're having. And I tell you, for you to open up and share your testimony to where you've come from to where you are today, and I just commend you. I mean, I commend you for being that strong to share that, because some people would think that, oh, I can't do that, I can't tell anybody that. But you share that, and I'm sure that's going to help somebody.
Yes.
Without a question. Continue to keep your focus. You know what I'm saying? And don't let what nobody says, when they talk about you, I always say, just like that old goat, put it on your feet to go a little bit higher. Yes. Pack it under there, go a little bit higher. Yes. Pack it under them, stepping a little bit higher. Because what you're doing is helping those who don't know how to get the help that they need, probably going through some of the same things. Maybe some viewers that we have today have gone through some of the same situation, but you didn't feel comfortable enough. Don't wait till you're 50. Person's dead, and you're still dealing with it as if you're 10 years old.
Come on.
You know? And I appreciate the fact that you did that. Now, if a person want to get in touch with you, to have you come speak with them or what, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can reach out at our business line at 754-260-0036.
Okay.
Or you can email us at info@navigationfirm.com.
754-260-0036.
And
I've got the number just in case you need it. I tell you, it is absolutely fantastic that you came in today. Come on now, I love it, I love it, I love it. I want to wish you and yours, the members of your church, and everybody in your family a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much.
Don't eat too much cake.
We'll try not to.
Hello.
Yes.
But I thank you, and please continue to do what you're doing, because know that I'm going to get, I'm thinking of so many things that I can have you speak at that will help so many people to understand that there is help. Yes. And I will be back in touch with you, guaranteed on that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I thank you. It's a pleasure. It's like we've known each other.
Oh, yeah.
Homie.
Yep.
Alabama.
Come on. Yes.
Rashawn, I tell you, powerful, powerful testimony. And you're doing so many things. Continue to write, continue to teach, and help those that do not know how to get the help.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you there.
Thank you.
Everybody, please don't forget, now if you would like to get in touch with him, you can call him up at 754-260-0036. My time is up for this Thursday. It's been a fantastic show, but I want to leave it with you as I do every single day. Never, ever, ever lose your focus. Always remember, if you keep God first in whatever you do, I can guarantee you this, you're going to be a total success. So until tomorrow for another day of nothing but sunshine, know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. Be safe out there if you're out there shopping, because people are going everywhere on the streets. Drive for yourself and the other one as well. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Sunshine's Corner.
Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.